Fuchs in the House, coming to you with a special report tonight. Fuchs in the House is projecting Joe Jorgensen as the next president of the United States, winning the 2020 election. We have it on good resources that a guy that was walking his dog heard it from a lady that was at the grocery store, who heard it from a gentleman that was buying a bagel, that Trump and Biden votes will not be counted. They're illegal. So this is resources that we are going to stand by. And again, Joe Jorgensen is the projected winner for the 2020 election. Now let's get back to our normal movie talk that we usually do, and appreciate that let me interject some news out there that is as true as the other news outlets. Oh man, gotta have fun, people, gotta have fun. Hope everybody's having a good evening and dealing with this crazy world, and decide to do some movie talk, get caught up on some. Got a kick out of my Halloween video that I ended up talking about Sean Connery movies. That's just how it turned out. Just something that caught me off guard. The movies tonight are going to be a little around got a little of everything in this, from animation to westerns to action movies to even a volleyball movie. So I'm going to start off with, the western, classic western. I have not seen this movie. I just recently saw this movie, 1955, Man with a Gun, Robert Mitchum. Basically, gun wielding cowboy comes into town, and basically they're looking for someone to help clean up the town, and he ends up doing things that the townspeople really doesn't like. It's not a bad movie. It surprised me. Like I said, I never saw it, and if you're looking for a classic western and haven't seen one or looking for something different, go with that. Next movie, Free Fall, 2014. Basically, a woman executive comes about some information that talks about some corruption that's going on, and ends up being in a high-rise building, and has to survive a killer. In this movie, D.B. Sweeney plays the bad guy, and he doesn't do a bad job as the bad guy in this movie. And then Sarah Butler. There's only there's a bad part in this movie at the end, where, I don't know if it's her fiance or husband, comes looking for her. And so in the beginning of the movie, they basically take out the elevators. At the end of the movie, he comes in, he goes on the elevator, and there's a scene where they show him shutting down the elevators. And it's like, okay, how are we getting the elevators working? So that kind of took it a decent movie. You see that kind of scene, and you're like, what the hell? Didn't somebody remember what the heck the movie's, I kind of laughed. I was like, how's he getting in the elevator to go up when there's no power to the elevators? Just got me laughing a bit. But the movie's okay to watch. Again, I thought D.B. Sweeney, to be honest, not a bad role for him for a bad guy, and it felt like a good role for him. Next movie, looking for something different, or if you're a volleyball fan, a movie called Side Out, 1990. And C. Thomas Howell and Courtney Thorne Smith are in this. C. Thomas Howell is coming from the Midwest, and see if anybody remembers his name in that movie. If anybody, people that my subscribers or anybody, if they can remember his name, what they called him in the movie. Let's see if anybody remembers that and wants to give it a shout out. But again, not a bad movie. It's a fun, I guess you want to say, something different if you are looking for that, and you're into volleyball, or again looking for a kind of a sports movie or something a little bit. It does the job. Next one. This one's I can go with a movie that surprised. I didn't expect what it was about, or you read a little bit, but how it turned out. Not a bad movie. Movie called Standoff. Lawrence Fishburne and Thomas Jane are in this. 2016, and basically, a little girl ends up witnessing an assassination, and she ends up running to this farmland, or this house in the middle of nowhere. And there's a storyline with it on what's going on with the person in the house, and then you have this assassin come into the house, and more or less a standoff comes up into it. And it was not a bad movie. I don't recall it. I don't know if this was in theaters, but if you are a Lawrence Fishburne fan, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I really did. And it isn't, there's not a lot of people in it. It's more between Lawrence Fishburne and Thomas Jane interacting amongst each other, playing cat and mouse a little bit. And there's it's good. It surprised me. So it's one of those movies that, I'm going to say go ahead for it if you're looking for something. Next one, Russell Crowe, Helen Slater movie, 1995, No Way Back. Ends up some FBI agents kind of mess up a bust, and ends up a mafia son gets killed, and the Godfather, basically the Don more or less wants revenge. There's a kidnapping of Russell Crowe's son, and so now it's a crossroad adventure to get back his son. There was some scenes in it that they tried to make it a little comedy, I guess you want to say, but it was at a point it's like, do you either go action or go try to do a good job of it, and just there's some scenes that it's like, it's put a little more, I don't know, a little more humor in it or something, maybe to lighten it up. There are a couple scenes like that. It just average movie. That's where I'm going to go with it. And then I have a horror flick. This one I thought was a remake of a movie, but the name was something different. But Night of the Wild, 2015. Rob Morrow and Kelly Rutherford are in this, and ends up dogs end up attacking people at night, and it's because a comet comes to Earth and causes the dog's sense to change. I thought this was a remake, but the movie that I was thinking of ended up being Day of the Animals, 1977, but more or less the same storyline. Basically, and so it's like, if you want to watch the two movies just to see that, again, it basically went down the same road, because I was like, hey, they made a remake of this 70s movie, and I was like, that's not bad. The 2015 has a little more horror, and again, it goes the cheesy route for a movie. There's just some cheesy scenes, and at the end, it kind of is like, what kind of scenario. But again, if you watch Day of the Animals and Night of the Wild, except for the gore in Night of the Wild, you're kind of watching the same movie. So that is that. And my last movie is one of those nights where it's like, I don't know what to watch. So I ended up with Doctor Strange, the animation, 2007. And if you're a Marvel comic fan, or the movie itself goes with the title. It is strange. It's kind of got a bizarre thing to it. Just one of those movies that just tried to do something a little different. So that is the The special report, again, that we have is we have projected Joe Jorgensen as the next president of the United States on Fuchs in the House. Again, just as worthy as the other news outlets. So, and I'm leaning towards probably a little better. Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy.